This is the central hub of the experience, which leads to different 3D environments that represent different scenarios. Conceptually, we wanted to make the experience feel like the user was going from the abstract to the concrete, and tried to reflect that in the hub. This section is slightly out of focus and surreal, trying to evoke feelings of placelessness. The user has a choice to go through different portals and experience war, perpetual peace, or parliamentary democracy. This representation began with a concept of the grid. In exploring Flusser's work, we were often drawn to the way he uses grids to explore the human need to control and understand. Each of our 3D environments embody a possible future that Flusser envisioned, and so we decided here to use dark colors like black and blue to emphasize a feeling of searching for tangible realities in a void. In line with that abstract stream of consciousness, the space is designed to be large enough to allow for exploration, but small enough to stay interesting. Each of Flusser's scenarios introduces new concepts, so there needed to be enough space to show some details of each scenario. With the aesthetic and scale of the overall level established, it was time to create specific areas of interest. Each hub has TV screens that act as portals to video content. Having them each emit a little light gave the hub some extra life. For example, in an area that represents mutations, a tree envelops the area. The final task for the hub was to make the screens bleed out content from the videos they held. The world looks bizarre with different elements from the scenario scattered across the world, balancing absurd yet imaginable futures. The abstract concepts were a blast to work with and created some challenging but interesting level design considerations. This representation is of perpetual peace. We designed the space as a long strip which prompts user to experience the shuttle of time from beginning to end. The environment is separated into 3 zones representing past, present, and future. The zone of the past is war, which often precedes peace throughout human history. Many peace movements were, at one time, military operations. A slogan says, "If you want peace, prepare for war," a phrase used throughout history to justify violence as a means to an end. The zone of the present is the society we are now in. The towering buildings and the constantly floating balls represent the peaceful state of human beings facing reality. At the same time, it is connected to the next zone, the future. The most representative part of this zone is information processing. The prevailing mood of this space is equanimity and abstraction, which promote the state of perpetual peace. This area has a rippled ground that players can step on to show that things will disappear and reappear, but never fully diminish. Scenario 19 presents a world rebuilt after the political system of parliamentary democracy, which has caused extreme polarization, ends in nuclear war. The optimization of political discourse through technology is implemented through the computational processing of political will. In our scene, the computer network and circuitry that would carry out this processing is built into the urban environment itself. The narrator of this scenario explains that the history of this version of Earth is reconstructed by items in the Ulaanbaatar archive. Therefore, we thought it was fitting to construct an urban environment set in a mountain valley. The choice of Ulaanbaatar as an important place in this post-apocalyptic world is meant to underscore the extent to which the nuclear conflict had ravaged the rest of the plain, leaving only the most remote cities intact. We can observe some vestiges of the parliamentary democracy system in the form of decaying political propaganda that had previously kept 2 halves of the population firmly at odds and managed to infect every aspect of daily life.